Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope that you're doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. So today's video is the waited for, or the most anticipated end of the Cozy Caravan. Our trip across all 50 states of the USA is coming to an end at this video. So I was able to find 10 with the help of you guys filling out the form. I was able to find the last 10 states for our little adventure. So we are going to start off in South Dakota. So we have, this is one that I have not heard of before, but it is called Dearly or Nearly Departed in Deadwood by Anne Charles. Alright, so here is the setup for Deadwood. Little girls are vanishing from Deadwood, South Dakota. Fearing her daughter might be next, single mother, hello Cleo, Violet Parker is desperate to find the monster behind the abductions. With her savings dwindling and just 3 weeks left to sell her first house or lose her realtor job, Violet is ecstatic when a handsome jeweler hires her to sell his century-old Victorian masterpiece until she sees the dilapidated dwelling. Now if she could just convince her only buyer to stop rejecting vintage homes as if they're haunted. Short on time and long on worry, she refuses to give up her dream of a fresh start in Deadwood. But with a malicious coworker trying to get her fired, a secret admirer sending her creepy messages, and a sexy stranger hiding skeletons in his closet, will Violet end up as one of Deadwood's dearly departed? We then head on over to Tennessee, and this one looks fantastic. The cover is stunning. I absolutely love it. So this is Last Woolen Testament, a haunted yarn shop mystery series by Molly McRae. It's Fiber. That's the name of the spunky group of fiber and needlework artists founded by Ivy McClellan, Kath's beloved grandmother. Ooh, do we have some feisty older ladies? Though Ivy has recently passed on, the members still meet regularly at her fiber and fabric shop. The Weaver's Cat. Oh my god, the names of these places. Okay, which Kath has now inherited. But that's only the first in the series of surprises when Kath returns to the small town of Blue Plum, Tennessee to settle her grandmother's affairs. There's been a murder, and it turns out her grandmother was the prime suspect. Before she can begin to clear Ivy's name, Kath encounters a looming presence in the form of a gloomy ghost. It turns out the specter has just as much interest in solving the murder as Kath. So with a little help from the members of the TGIF and a stubborn spirit from beyond, she sets out to unravel the clues and hook the real killer. You guys know how much I love ghosts, like mixed in with like crafts. Like this is like worlds combining. So that was Tennessee. Then we head all the way over to Texas, and this is actually a series that I have read all the way through. So this series is finished. So if you want to just binge read a series and not have to end on a cliffhanger or anything like that, this is the series for you. So it is Pleating for Mercy. This is the first in a magical dressmaking series by Melissa Bourbon. When her great-grandmother passes away, Harlow Jane Cassidy leaves her job as a Manhattan fashion designer and moves back to Bliss, Texas. But when she opens a dressmaking boutique in the turn-of-a-century farmhouse she inherited, Harlow senses an inexplicable presence. Her old friend Josie orders a gown for her upcoming wedding, but when Josie's boss turns up dead, Harlow has to find the killer with a little help from beyond. This is such a fun series. It has magic. One of the things that our Harlow has is she is able to weave magic into the gowns that and the clothing that she makes. It's a really, really cool concept. I'm super bummed that it was that it didn't continue, but I I love this series, so you should 100% go and check it out. Okay, so the next one I also want to pick up. Guys, I have so many books that just got added to my TBR because of this Cozy Caravan. Okay, so we are now in Utah, and we have To Helvetica and Back, a Dangerous Type mystery series by Paige Shelton. The cover's just fantastic. So, Star City is known for its slopes and its powder. But nestled in the valley of the ski resort town is a side street full of shops that specialize in the simple charms of earlier eras. One of those shops is the Rescued Word, where Chester Henry and his adult granddaughter Claire lovingly repair typewriters and restore old books. Dream job. Whoever thought their quaint store would hold the key to some modern day trouble? When a stranger to town demands they turn over an antique Underwood typewriter they're repairing for a customer, Claire fears she may need to be rescued. A call to the police scares off the man, but later Claire finds his dead body in the back alley. What about a dusty old typewriter could possibly be worth killing for? Good question. Good question. All right, so then we leave Utah and we head to Vermont. Apparently I bought this book on November 28th, 2017. I still haven't finished it. If I, like, ever filmed a, hey, these are all the books I own, but I haven't read yet, that would be a really, really long video. Would you guys ever want to see something like that? Let me know. I don't know. You probably wouldn't want to listen to me talk that long. I don't know if I would want to listen to me talk that long, but all right, focus. So our next book is A Spoonful of Murder. It is the first in a Soup Lovers mystery series by Connie Archer. When Lucky Jameson inherits her parents' soup shop by the spoonful, she realizes it's time to take stock on her life. Soup. Should she sell her parents' house or move in herself? Does she really want to run a restaurant business? And what about her grandfather Jack, who seems to be showing signs of Alzheimer's? But her life decisions are moved to the back burner after an icy blonde Taurus is found frozen to death behind the soup shop. And Lucky is bowled over when her soup chef, Sage Dubois, is let out of the kitchen by the police. As suspicion and speculations snowball, Lucky decides that the only way to save her employee and her business is to find out herself who iced the tourist and landed her chef in the soup. I mean, it sounds so good. I don't know why I haven't, like, it's because there's so many other things. So the next state that we are going to is Virginia, and it is The Diva Runs Out of Time by Krista Davis. So this is the first in the domestic Diva Mystery series. Right now it's only $3.99 on Kindle, just letting you know. Everything will be linked down below as well. Okay, so domestic diva Sophie Winston is about to learn that some dishes are best served cold. Few can compete with local celebrity Natasha Smith when it comes to entertaining, but Sophie Winston is determined to try. Her childhood rival may have stolen the spotlight, and her husband. But this Thanksgiving, Sophie is determined to rob Natasha of the prize for Alexandria, Virginia's stupendous stuffing shakedown. She just needs the right ingredient. But Sophie's search for the perfect turkey takes a basting when she stumbles across a corpse. And when the police find her name and photo inside the victim's car, Sophie will have to set her trucing aside to solve the murder, or she will be serving up prison grub. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, the next state that we're going to is one of my favorites. One, I wish I lived there. Two, I have loved this series so much. It has finally ended. So if you want to binge a series, you totally can. But is Death on Tap, a Sloane Krause mystery series by Ellie Alexander. So when Sloane Krause walks in on her husband Max screwing the barmaid, she gives him the boot. Sloane has spent her life in Leavenworth, Washington, becoming an expert in brewing craft beer, and she doesn't have time to be held back by her soon-to-be ex-husband. She decides to strike out on her own, breaking away from the Krause family brewery, and goes to work for Nitro, the hip new nano brewery in the Bavarian-themed town. Nitro's owner, brewmaster Garrett Strong, has the brew world abuzz with his newest recipe, Pucker Up IPA. This is a new cool place in town, and Mac can't help but be green at envy with their success. But just as Sloane is settling into her new gig, she finds one of Nitro's competitors dead in the fermenting tub, clutching the secret recipe for the IPA. When Mac is arrested, Sloane knows that her ex might be a cheater, but a murderer? No way. Danger is brewing in Bavaria, and suddenly Sloane is on the case. I love this series so much. All of the characters are absolutely fantastic. I feel like it was cut too short because the publishers didn't continue with it, and it ticks me off, but everything is wrapped up, just so you know, at the end of the book. She didn't leave you hanging. I know, right? No one likes being left hanging. Okay. We then find our way in West Virginia, and this is another one of the series that I absolutely love and I highly recommend. This is perfect for Christmas time, actually. The first book is. It is called Apple Cider Slaying. This is the first in a cider shop mystery series by Julie and Lindsay. I love this series so much. So Blossom Valley, West Virginia is home to Smith Orchards, Winnie and her granny's beloved 25-acre farm and family business. But any way you slice it, it's struggling. That's why they're trying to drum up business with the first annual Christmas at the Orchard. A good old-fashioned holiday festival with enough delicious draw to satisfy apple-picking locals and cider-loving tourists alike. Until the whole endeavor takes a sour turn when the body of Nadine Cooper, Granny's longtime grudge-holding nemesis, is found lodged in the apple press. Now, with Granny the #1 suspect, Winnie is hard-pressed to prove her innocence before the real killer delivers another murder. I have read everything in this series. There are 3 books out so far. You will not regret picking it up. It is so good, so good. Okay. The next one I have never heard of. It was very, very hard to find a book based in Wisconsin. So if you have a book that you love that's based in Wisconsin that's a cozy, let me know down below. But the one that we did find was Old World Murder. So it has a very old kind of cozy cover, so it hasn't been updated in the cover. There are 10 in the series, but it is a Chloe Ellefson mystery series by Kathleen Ernst. So it says, trying to leave painful memories behind her, Chloe Ellefson is making a fresh start. She's the new collections curator at Old World, Wisconsin, an outdoor ethnic museum showcasing 1870s settlement. On her first day, Chloe meets an elderly woman who begs her to find a priceless 18th century Norwegian ale bowl that had been donated to the museum years ago. But before Chloe can find the heirloom and return it to her, the woman dies in a suspicious car crash. Digging up the history and whereabouts of the rare artifact quickly turns dangerous. Chloe discovers that someone is desperately trying to cover up all traces of the bowl's existence by any means necessary. Assisting Chloe is police officer Rolk McKenna, whose own haunting past compels him to protect her. To catch the covetous killer, Chloe must solve a decade-old puzzle before she becomes part of history herself. The premise sounds really, really cool, especially as someone who got her master's degree in American Studies with Native American and Women's Studies as an emphasis. So then we leave Old World Murder and we end our Cozy Caravan in Wyoming. This is another series I have never heard about before, but it's called All the Old Lions. This is a Thea Barlow Wyoming mystery by Carol Caverly. It has a very Western cover. It says, Thea Barlow, Chicago native and newly minted editor of the city's Western True Adventures magazine, is on her first assignment. Prove her worth by unraveling the mystery of Halfway Halt, a defunct brothel in Hijacks, Wyoming. Upon arrival in Hijacks, Thea is met with hostility from the town's old lions. Assuming Thea is the new girl for the old brothel, the townsfolk do not want old days revived or their secrets revealed. Then a local woman is murdered, and present owner of Halfway Halt is found unconscious in an old building. Now Thea must dig deep if she's going to get the story and survive. Goodness, that was an adventure. We found 50 books together that encompassed all of the United States. Let me know, do you want to see a new part of this? Do we want to go to Europe? Do we want to go just around the world and try and find as many cozies in the different parts of the world that we can? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, but I'm super excited that you guys loved this series so much. I also want to say thank you to all these patrons who are a part of our Cozy Escape book club. But that's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.